Hey guys, how you guys doing today, man? How's my audio, by the way? Making sure you guys can hear me okay. Great, great, great. What up, what up? What's going on, guys? Hope you guys had a good weekend. Yo, yo, yo. Hey, from South Africa. How's it going, man? First time, Alan. My name's also Alan, by the way. Azheng Trades, but my name is Alan, so if that's your real name, we share the same name, my friend. What does it mean by RUICT? I don't trade the style, if that's what you're asking. What's going on, Roy? What a bright guy. Johnny, 1 HP, what up? All Out God, Jazza, PG, Paul, out of the way, what up, man? Ayush, what up, what up? Good morning, KG Trades. What's up, Baljeet? JTP, Jake, what's going on, man? P Twan, what up, what up? Yeah, as usual, man. I'll get rolling in a bit here. I'm just gonna leave this up here for now, and just as people are rolling in here, we'll get started in a bit. Good morning, Will. As usual, I'll go over the NQ and I'll go over gold in just a bit here. Give it about 9 minutes as people are kind of rolling in here. Any of you guys trade today over the course of the Asia session? Yo, Zia. Yeah, I heard about that. I wasn't even at my desk when the trade issues were happening at the time. Yeah, you, Daniel, you're not the only one, man. I know a student of mine was actually in a trade as well, except they were looking. They were looking for. Oh yeah, same exact trade as you actually. They were looking for. Nope, no. Now I'm reading through the notes. It was the reverse of what you were doing actually. They were shorting, but it missed their PT by like literally 1 point, and then it went back up. So. Yeah, Zia. I mean, you know what? I'm going to be very limited in my options, basically, to be honest. And you think that there's a lot of options out there, but unless you're willing to spend a great deal of amount, which I'm not really looking to do that, not with a car anyways. My options are pretty slim, actually. Good morning from Germany. What's going on, Susan? It's good evening from Vancouver, but good morning for you, my friend. Honestly, there's no the idea of longing to, the trend tonight is obviously the goal. If we get a really nice double top setup with some bar confirmation, I'm interested in shorting, but just kind of the common theme that I've been talking about. Hey, Jake Ricci, what's going on, brother? What's going on? Good to see you, man. What I'm really looking for, to be honest, is that like longs are where we're gonna have the highest expectation for probability. Shorts, you're gonna have to be very tight on it, man. Like you're like shooting for like 1.5 R maybe at best. I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to be shooting for too much, but I think short opportunities are going to offer it. As you can even see throughout the course of today's session, there are opportunities, very tight ones at that, but there were opportunities for shorts. The cleanest one we had probably was just here about, what was it, an hour and a half ago, that had the kind of the largest follow through on it. But yeah, overall, I'm more bullish than I am bearish, obviously, on the NQ. But we'll go over through it in a bit. Hey, Jake, if you're still on, if you don't mind checking your the message for a second. I sent you a message earlier. Anyways, want to stop or keep before I sleep. I got work early in the morning. So oh, good. Take it easy, Zia. Yeah, gold had some pretty nice short moves tonight. I think the long right now looks pretty decent actually on gold. Nice double bottom here at the level and kind of within this channel range. I think 1.5 R might be shooting a little too high, but 1 R should be very feasible in gold. In terms of car-wise, man, like a big part of like the big changes that I'm making right now is that I'm trying to position myself better so that I can do more with family than I have ever before. Just because like, but I would say all my working life I've been very much focused on the grind, whether it's been trading, business, or my corporate life prior. I'm kind of hitting that point in my life where I'm kind of thinking to myself like, okay, how do I want to really pivot now that I've grinded so hard? Because in reality, when I think about my personal goals that I had set for myself when I was a kid, I had achieved those goals like and more probably 5-7 years ago. So now it's kind of like, obviously, yeah, you want to be ambitious, you want to so-called move the proverbial goalpost, but you know, there's only so much you can gain from a monetary materialistic aspect of things. So I do want to pivot in a way where I can spend more time with the family, which is why, even though as people have been saying like, hey Alan, you know, finally get that that 911, right? But I think that just even cost aside, it doesn't actually fit my family's needs, right? And some people just think, oh, why don't you just get another car? Again, I'm not looking to add on more expenses, and I'm not, as you guys probably know by now, who you guys have been following my journey for long enough, and my Instagram, I'm not trying to sell anything. So like I think a lot of people sometimes get those really nice cars because they're trying to sell that they, you know, they're using it when they say I'm trying to use it for marketing or trying to meet business owners or clients with it. A lot of times it is just because they're selling something and they want to have that as their prize piece to do that, right, and get attention and what have you. Whereas for me, I'm not looking to do any of that, to be honest. I just want to make sure I get something that I like, that I enjoy, and it fits my family's need. Because yeah, if I can't drive my kids around and stuff like that, it doesn't fit the mold. And the 911 actually does not fit kids in the back, not as much as you think they would. Car seats don't even fit properly in that car, so that's why I'm like, I've been looking for like a stick shift car more than anything. Which honestly, if I'm looking for something that fits the mold of what works for the kids, for myself, the family, and it's not gonna like break the bank to do it, then my options are pretty slim, man. I don't got a lot of options out there. But yeah. Anyways, just for those who are kind of asking the question, I'm right now, as I posted, between, honestly, it's most likely I'm most likely gonna get an Acura, to be honest, just because it's got the best bang for your buck. It fits the mold. I can tune that thing if I want to tune it, because a lot of people don't know it, but my childhood background and in my early, I want to say late teens or what have you, tuning cars were like a big thing for me. So it might just Now with more money in the bank, obviously, I can probably tune things to a much more extreme level. So potentially going to do that just because I have 4 doors. It's stick shift. It's fun even stock, but it could do a lot if you tune that thing. So I don't know. We'll see, man. That's kind of where my mind's at right now with the car world of things. What up, Jif? Oh man, I'm totally gonna butcher your name. I know you're new here. Is it Jiftia Gaming? I totally butchered your name probably, but good to see you, man. Merc, I actually already have an electric car. I have a Tesla. That's actually the car that I'm going to be trading in for this next vehicle because with the changes of life for me, I won't need an EV anymore. I don't drive as much as I used to. I used to average about 40,000 kilometers a year, which I think on miles, what is that, like 30 miles, 30,000 miles or whatever? So I'm kind of moving away from the EV game. I don't really need it that much in my life as much as I used to anymore. Hence the change, man. Jimmy, no. I don't have a 911. I've driven them before though, and I've tested the whole thing. Put the kids in the car seats. It just doesn't work for me, man. M4s are nice. They are nice. Even a lot of those, like you can't really get stick shift much anymore. Like, or if you try to order them with them, they take forever to get them. I also don't want to wait like 6 to 12 months for a vehicle. Learning. Yeah, I don't know, man. Not gonna roll an Ultimo, man. That's not happening. SpongeBob, I'm gonna go to the chart review in a bit here, my friend. Is it 10:12? In about like 3 minutes or so, I'll start doing the review. For those who are kind of just chiming in here or joining, welcome to Project 365, guys. I am the pre-London host of the network. My name's Alan. Azheng Trades is my kind of trade name right now, and some of you guys will remember me as Uchiha Trades. I will go through what I'm looking for on the NQ and on gold in a few minutes here. I'll break down the chart and talk about what I'm looking for on the given day. And we'll chat, man. If you got any questions for me, ask away. Could be about trading, could be about life, career, anything you guys want to chat about. I'm a very well-rounded person for those who are kind of just hopping in here right now. Trading is not my only thing. It's something that I enjoy for sure and I'm passionate about. But I'm a business person, entrepreneur, coach more than anything else as primary. So, Pete, Texas, tune your truck. I've never done that before. I've actually never tuned a truck ever in my life. Jake, honestly, I just knew that I was going to be chatting a lot with the gang right now, and I'm just getting started and doing chart review. I don't want to enter anything right now just because I won't be able to have the mentals to manage that while I'm chatting with you guys. I actually do skip a lot of trades just from talking to you guys, to be honest, right? So a lot of times when I mention things like, hey, you know what, a trade setting up or whatever it may be, do with it as you may. Just because I don't hop in doesn't mean you shouldn't hop in. In the same regard, just because I hop in doesn't mean you should either. But when I mention those, it's because like it is something that looks good, but I might not have to be able to take the trade just simply because I'm in the middle of connecting with you guys, right? My engagement with you guys is actually more important to me than taking the trades because I generally trade during other periods of the day as well. So yeah, 1 HP, you know what's that? My first car was an EM1. It's an EM1. For those who don't know, that's like a 98 generation to 2000 Civic Si. That's my first car. And actually my first car that I learned how to drive standard in was an EK9, which was same thing, same generation, but hatchback. It was a for those car nerds out there who understand the terminology, it was a B18 C7. So that was a very fun tuned car. Weekend was good, big boy. Every weekend I've just been using it to honestly catch up on things, and well, honestly, I'm always working, to be honest. If I'm not any little bit of downtime, if I'm not with my kids and my family, man, I'm just hustling away. But thanks for asking, man. Yeah, right, guys. Stick shifts are becoming a very rare breed now. That's why I actually want to enjoy them while I still can. I think stick shifts are probably going to become obsolete in the near future, so I'm going to enjoy them as much as I can while I still can. The CT5V Blackwing is nice for sure. I've never really owned an American car before. I don't know how I feel about that. I think the gas aspect of it's kind of wild as well. I mean, I know they guzzle like crazy. Anyways, but that's why on Instagram I had it as one of my 3 manufacturers is because the CT5. Yeah, Canada, absolutely, man. The full self-drive is unbelievable. I actually just showed my brother-in-law today how the full self-drive and self-summon works, and he was like, even though he hates Tesla, he was baffled by it. He was baffled by it. Why stick shift? I love cars, man. I mean, I think that's the car enthusiast in me. It's like the most the most man to machine feeling is driving a stick. So I just really enjoy it. It's definitely my cup of tea. And also for me, it's nostalgic, man. It reminds me of a simpler time in my life, and it also helps me kind of stay focused, like, enjoy the experience when I'm driving. Because honestly, if I have full self-drive, autonomous, all that stuff, you just can't help but want to look at your phone and all that type of stuff too. I just want to enjoy the experience of driving, man, while I still can. Again, I'm still of age where I can still, I'm not going to feel like an old man when I'm driving a standard car. And also, standard cars are still available. They might not be available in the future, so. Yeah, I'm also JTB only looking for new cars. I'm not looking for old cars at all, because obviously the reason why I'm looking for new cars actually right now is because from a business perspective, for me, it's just easier to just go through the process of financing, leasing, whatever it may be. And then also in the future, one of my big projects is going to be, I will be actually building old cars from scratch. So like, building up the R34 Skyline, building the old Integra Type Rs, Civic Type Rs. Like, I will be looking to do that, even the old Nissan 240s. Those are the kind of things that I'm planning on doing in the future. So I don't want to spend time buying an old car today. I'm going to enjoy it. Like, it's two different projects, right? New car ownership, business, write-off. Enjoy that for what it is while still having fun. And then the whole building of the vehicle will be a completely different take. Jimmy, man, hey, I got a family SUV as well. I've got a Hyundai Palisade hybrid. I actually just scooped that out recently. It's my wife's car. Make it 3 yards. Yes, I do leverage the 9 EMA. I specifically like using the 9 EMA actually on the 5-minute time frame. DeMarcus, what's going on? How'd your date go? Did your date go well on Friday? I believe that's what you said you had a date going on, right? If I remember correctly. Have I ever had a prior experience in law enforcement? No, I have not. Why the question, Zod? Do I give out law enforcement vibes? GSR swap. GSR swap, yeah. I miss the stick shifts, man. Yeah, 100%. So Carter Dobbleman, great question. I'm probably not gonna side with the most average trader that's gonna say, give all your life to trading. I'm not that person, to be honest. I think when you put your time into dedicating into trading, you should absolutely be driven, be focused, be passionate about it. But I don't think it should consume your entire identity and life. I think for many reasons, the balance of life at all. I don't know if you're a family person, but I find that if your entire identity is tied to trading, it can really affect your overall, mood and how you treat those around you. I think it's important to have something else. I also think that when it comes to risk management, it's easier to manage your trades and manage risk when you are when you have an income stream coming from somewhere else. So for me, naturally, I would say that I personally think the right way to do it is, again, obviously different situations for different people. It depends on where you are at in your life. I say establish your career, establish your business, whatever it may be, the thing that's going to be able to generate you an income in a way where you're going to live a decent life, where you don't have to worry that you're not going to stress about blowing an account, where like losing a funded account or losing your whatever account may be is going to be the end of the world, and you can't make rent, you can't make payments to your mortgage. Like, you don't want to be stuck in that situation. So personally for me, if I had to choose in every given day that my business is calling me and a trade's on the market, I'm going to go to my business first. Trading will always be second for me. Even though I do extremely well, I will not prioritize it over my business. I always still think about the longevity of things, is that like in trading, unless I'm coaching, and this is why I spend so much time coaching and mentoring students, and that's why I enjoy it more. If a student asked me to have a one-on-one with him, I would drop me trading the chart and I would go help the student. And the reason why is because for me, that's more fulfilling. Same thing with business. The business, in a sense, depending on what kind of business you have, I have lots of people who kind of follow me for a living, right? Like, they're employed by me. So for me, I would be doing all of them a disservice if I were to completely dump my business and not focus on it at all. So that's why I think business is always going to be more important in that regard, because it's not just about me. It's about helping the community that you operate in, the people that work for you, that rely on you, all those kind of things, right? So I don't know if that's kind of a little bit long-winded answer, Carter, but my 2 cents on that. And you feel free to ask another question if I didn't answer that question properly, man. For Farhad, no, I just started streaming like literally 20 minutes ago, and honestly, to be frank, chart's been ranging a little bit here. I think we had about a 1 hour trade though. There was a 1 hour there. You could have that short trade on NQ earlier that I highlighted. You could have caught 1 hour very easily. Again, like if you guys heard me say earlier, I would really much manage your expectations for any short trades right now in the NQ, just because I'm overall very bullish. And that gold trade is playing out right now. So I don't know if anyone caught that. But again, if someone asked me, why aren't you trading? I'm just going to regurgitate this. I'm actually more focused on engaging with you guys. I'll call out trades. I'll call out things and all that, right? And whether you hop on the trade I hop on or not is completely up to you. I don't think everyone should just follow me blindlessly or aimlessly, right? But at the same time, if I say, hey, a good setup's looking, this looks like a good setup, I still might not take it, because if I'm focused on answering your questions, that's my priority. So my priority right now is to engage you guys more than anything else. I know that seems probably kind of crazy, but I can trade any time of the day. So it's not the end of the world for me if I skip a trade, is kind of my 2 cents. Driving yourself is going to go away in the future. 100%. Exactly, right? So I have the rest of my life to hop into an automated car, to be honest, right? So I'm going to enjoy it while I still can, man. I know I had some people that actually recommended the RS6 Avant. Yeah, we don't have stick shift actually in Canada for the RS6. They're all Tiptronics or the dual stage clutch. Yeah, we don't have standard here. I know they exist in Europe, but they don't exist here. The new Toyota GR Corollas are pretty crazy, man. 95 EG hatch, GSR swap, fun cars. Yeah, man, you know what it's like, man. Those things were like little... That's why they called them little rice rockets, man. Those things were amazing. V6 Accord. That's OG, man. That's old school. Tun Kanata, are you looking at that from a... are you looking at NQ when you're talking about your short setups? It's just the composure and response you're giving off. 21 Durango, and honestly, best family car. Oh, thanks, Zod. I was kind of curious. I'm like, oh, why do you think I'm from a law enforcement background? That's very interesting. I'm a very disciplined person. Maybe that's what it is. DeMarcus, right on. I'm happy for you, man. I'm glad your date went well, my guy. That's awesome. Thank you, right guy. I appreciate it, man. Arham Rahim. Arham Harim. I am totally probably butchering your name. But welcome to Project 365 if this is your first time. Ah, right guy. You cut the law on gold. Nice, nice, nice. Just comes down to risk control and on multiple. So I think Carter Dahlman, I think that if you me personally, great foundation that I kind of evolved with. I found that I started refining it based on my tolerance and what I was looking for, just for things like risk management and entry points and what have you, right? I think all of us will make those adjustments. For those who don't know what the is, if you actually even go for 1 month with the Rake Trades Discord, automatically that comes with the content, the availability for all the recordings. So if you guys don't know what the mastermind is, that's what that is. It's totally worth your while, to be honest. For the price, I think sometimes it's kind of crazy, actually. People are willing to blow like thousands of dollars on evals and accounts, but they're not willing to spend like a few $100 on like a proper session or like a proper coaching session with a mentor, or like or even something where you're gonna get like a full-on class content, right, for such a smaller value. It's kind of mind-boggling. But yeah, I refined my technical understanding just over the course of time. And yeah, your risk management is gonna be everything. I think for everyone, risk management is different. Everyone will talk 1R, 2R, 3R. The reality is what 1 and 2R represents to you is gonna be different from everyone else. It's not gonna always be the same. And I think it's important that people understand that, right? So I don't know if that answers your question. That'd be my 2 cents on it. I've never had a classic car, but my friends and I have talked about it. We've looked at some of the restoration vehicles from like the 60s and the 70s, like the Stangs and Corvettes. But that will be more of a future project than anything. Very cool, man. I'm just reading Raheem's message about what he specializes in. That's very cool. I got your name correct. Okay, damn, that's crazy. So you can see here, this is the reason why on that gold trade setup that I called out earlier, I was saying like 1R would probably be a safe bet for sure. And just because of where the channel is, and it's also where our last lower high structure point was. But I know for a lot of people, they want, if it's not at least 1.5R, they don't want to take the trade. So that's why I kind of highlighted it here. But yeah, 1R was like the clean setup there for gold. So I'm glad someone in the chat caught that. I am going to go into the chart review now. So now that we are in 20 minutes into the stream, so before I begin, as always, I'll go through a quick breakdown with the gang. Welcome to Project 365's. I'm the pre-lended host here, so I'm going to go through the chart review with the whole gang here. I am going to go for the gold chart. I'm going to go for NQ because these are the ones that I primarily trade the most. So that's what I'll go through. I will answer questions along the way. So if I don't answer a question right now, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just going through what I got to go through first, and then I'll tend to the chat. I will call out trades. I will say things that are important and things that look good. Even if I don't hop in, it doesn't really matter. Like I said today, on all my streams, I'm more focusing on engaging with you guys more than anything else. You guys are coming here from all sorts of backgrounds of experience, and I just really want to make sure I can cater to you guys and provide you the best, you know, experience possible during the stream, especially since I have the slower session anyways. So anyways, with that, I'm going to hop right into it. So let's talk about gold. You know that I've been bearish on gold for this entire, well, really past few weeks for that matter. And it was really interesting to see on gold, to be honest, after we had closed off the way that we had on the weekly chart there. I would have expected us to open and push a little stronger. So it's interesting to see that we're bearish at the moment in terms of price action, but it doesn't mean that we can't go higher, right? I mean, this is a very large wick. A lot can happen here. So right now, from a weekly time frame perspective, I have indecision here. We are holding this level and channel area, so this might honestly potentially be the bottom for gold. That might send us up further up. Now, mind you, though, if you zoom out, that we are still bearish. I'm just looking to see if this weekly becomes a signal for a potential pushback up. But if it fails, then, you know, obviously the continuation to the downside might be what we're looking for here. On the daily time frame, we also had locked in a nice daily fail to go lower on Thursday, leading to a nice push up in our Friday price action before we closed out the day. Currently, right now, we have an inside bar on gold. So obviously for us right now, there's a lot of that indecision. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I like the fact that we're holding the channel and the levels here. We might be able to find our way up and continue moving upwards from here. Or this is just another lower high, as you can see here, right? This could just be the lower high here, lower high here. We could just be pushing lower from here, right? So again, it's not certain. And these, when I look at the larger time frames, again, I look at the larger time frames more so just for some directional bias. So if I don't have clear directional bias, then often I'll have a plan ready to kind of trade both sides of it. And then obviously as I zoom into the smaller time frames, that gives me different levels of conviction. Right now, for example, like this hourly bar, right? We've had a lot of wicks on the hourly, continuing to hold above into this channel and above this level. If we do get a bullish hourly close here, it might set us up for a continuation back up. But again, as we manage our expectation, I'm always very careful about where we take profit and where we want to put our stop losses, especially when VWAP is just literally above us. I also have that 44,558 area as a pretty important spot on the chart. So from a gold perspective, that's kind of what I'm looking there. As I mentioned earlier already, depending on when you hopped on, we obviously already had 1R locked in on gold. So I know Rye Guy caught the long trade on there. So that's amazing. That was a nice little bit of a double bottom here with the break of the wedge, the falling wedge here. Doesn't mean we're going to keep going up though, but it does set us up quite nicely at the moment in time. If you miss the setup right now, personally, what I would like to see is I expect us to reject back up here. If we come back down here and let's just say test this channel, I think we potentially could go higher. But again, time will tell. That will be an example of a long trade that I might be interested in because you would have missed the double bottom here again. But yeah, otherwise, if we continue to show weakness and respect the structure, yeah, we could come all the way back down to the 4527 or 4521 area that I have on gold. So that's kind of my perspective on gold at this moment. So that's that. I'll hop onto the NQ now. It looks like the 1.5 hour short trade on NQ would have worked out as well here. So not sure if anyone caught that. Again, someone asked me earlier, Alan, why didn't you hop in? Why did you bail on the trade? Again, I'm really focused on trying to answer you guys' question. That's like, you guys are my top priority today. So I'm going to tend to that. I'll mention things. I'll talk about the chart. You do that. You do with that information as you may. If it doesn't make sense, don't take it. If you like it, take it, right? I know that for many of you guys out there as well, who maybe even be experienced, you might see a setup that you like. And if I say something that, hey, I like it too, that might give you conviction to take that trade, because not only are you seeing it, but I'm seeing it as well. And I know that that sometimes helps people who are following along. But there's a reason why I set my TP here. I'm looking at this as potentially we could bounce here, which is why we're also getting a little bit of reaction on the NQ. Okay. Now diving into the NQ in the same way that I dove into gold just now. Let's go in the large time frame here. We're continuing to rock it. I mean, for those who have long-term holdings in any type of stock, S&P, or anything like that, you are sitting pretty right now, man. I have to say, looking at my long-term investment, things are like, you know, crazy, looking real good, looking real good. My kiddo's education fund is also looking really good so far. I'm hoping it continues to go up, man. Daily time frame as well. I mean, after we pretty much invalidated the daily bear spinning top here, we've continued to kind of move up higher and higher from here. So right now, again, this is why I said in the early beginning, I'm bullish on NQ. I'd be looking for longs. Short opportunities will always present themselves. There will always be pullbacks. But that's where I'm saying that I would manage the pullback expectation with like 1R, 1.5R at best. I would not shoot for more than that. Hence why I had what I had earlier there as well. So on the hourly time frame here, give me a second here actually. All right. On the hourly time frame here as well, we locked in a bullish hourly close earlier, just before we started the stream. I was honestly kind of thinking that we were bearish just because of the first hourly bearish close that we had, but we didn't really get any follow through. And we are holding that old all-time high there at 35.36. I think that if we lose that today, there's a really good possibility that we could make a decent pullback further down. But again, I'm very managing short expectations here, man. Like I wouldn't be shooting for too far much. From a visual perspective, I'll even draw this out there. I'd probably be very cognizant of that spot. So even if we break all-time highs, I don't know if we're going to go past this area here. So I'll just leave that there. And then on the smaller time frames here, you can already see we're just pushing higher. Like there's really nothing telling us that it's going to go lower and lower. If you caught this trade, congratulations. You caught a 2R trade or 1.5R trade already, which was nice. But again, this could potentially set up opportunities for longs. Ideally for me, and this is where the patience comes into play. This is one of the most difficult things about trading is that you can see a setup that you might want, but you might not get that setup for hours. Like you could literally sit there for hours until you get that setup. That is one of the most difficult skill sets of a trader. I think for many of us again, we have that mindset of like, you know, it's like a clock in, clock out kind of mentality where like, oh, I'm turning on my laptop, I'm logging into my broker. You've been trained all your life with the employee mindset of, okay, I'm clocking in, so now I got to go do work. Trading is just so different, right? And doing work looks different in trading. Popping up your screen, logging into your broker doesn't mean you should start clicking buttons, buying and selling price, right? What you should really be doing is constantly analyzing the chart. Does the chart make sense, right? Does the chart make sense? Do you see a setup that you like? You know, what's your targets for today? What are you looking for? Like, you know, what do you want from the chart, right? And is the chart offering that for you? Like, those are all the things that you're spending your time on. And then once you kind of know what you want, and this is what I said, it sucks. You could be sitting there for hours waiting to take that trade that you want. And you know what I would correlate that to, guys, and for those any of you guys in this chat right now that are in sales, you guys would know exactly what I'm talking about, right? If you're a door-to-door salesperson, you could be knocking on doors for hours, getting rejected after rejection after rejection. And then finally, when you nail that sale, that one sale can make your entire day, right? And this is kind of like looking at trading. Except the difference is the knocking isn't you actually taking trades. It's you just patiently waiting and accepting that the chart's not presenting what you like. But the moment you have the right setup that you like, you take it. And that one trade makes up for your hours of waiting, right? And so it's just a shift in mindset. And I use this in regards to sales because that's essentially what it is, right? You can literally go through a dry spell of selling nothing and then suddenly being able to hit the jackpot with one sale or two sale or whatever that may be. So trading, I kind of view it in a very similar fashion, right? But as of right now, like that's kind of my thought process. I would like to watch how we bounce here. I mean, I already mentioned my short trade earlier and it's already happened. So that's one NQ trade. And I guess I'll kind of log this here as well. Just so that for those who are hopping on stream later, they'll know what I'm talking about. So first trade, what do I want to call it? What's first trade thoughts? NQ short. It was what is it? Just double checking here. 35.70. Target 3. 3552. So that was the first trade on NQ. The other gold, other one is GC long, which was, what was it again? 4546.1. 4546.1. Target 1R 4552.4. And I'm leaving that there just because I think that, like, for different types of traders, you might find value in being able to take a look at trades that had taken already and kind of like almost reverse engineer and kind of see why that trade was taken in the way that it was. So I'm going to leave that there. So that's 2 already so far in the day. It's gone pretty well. You guys remember I mentioned earlier on, right? We were watching this spot right over here, right? And that's why the line's drawn here, and maybe I'll thicken the line here if it helps. Visibility? No. Oh, there it is. There you go. That was kind of the bounce spot, right, that we were watching. And you can see here that we did get a nice bounce up again here. And again, this is when we talk about range trading. This would have been a nice range trade for someone to have taken. Oops, let me reverse that. Yeah, this would have been a nice range trade if anyone wanted to take that kind of a trade. So again, different traders, right? Trend trading, range trading, completely up to you. I'm just going to catch up on the chat here because I realized I missed quite a bit of questions here. When you size trades, do you base how you dynamically bet purely based off of R, like knowing when to size big versus small size of normal size, if that makes sense? Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. So Carter Doubleman, absolutely. I think that for like A+ setups, and if you're just asking me right now, right, like if I'm trading my funded accounts, I see an A+ setup looking good. I would size 3 minis into that trade, and my risk would be factored into that, right? It would be factored into that 3 mini trade. If I just think looks pretty good, but I'm missing a few check boxes, I'm willing to do 2 minis. If a trade is looking decent, but honestly, it's questionable, I'll take 1 mini. And that's like me just being very careful. Like, and that's a toss-up, right? I might not even take anything at that point if it's not worth it, right? And as each of those contracts or each of those setups, my risk is based on chart structure. It is not based on P&L. I can't emphasize this enough. The more you focus on your P&L when you trade, the more difficult you're gonna find. You're gonna find success because you're so hyper focused on the P&L. You're not leaving yourself enough room to breathe on the chart, right? So, anyways, that's kind of my 2 cents on that. This is my first time in my funded account since passing my 50K eval a couple of days ago. Congratulations, Guitar Guy. I think my best insight and thought to what your situation is already is you shouldn't trade any differently. Assuming that you traded your eval with the same level of respect you would trade a funded, you shouldn't change too many things, to be honest, at this point, right? Just take your time. Don't get distracted by the trading rules and all that other stuff, right? Just trade the chart, my friend. Elod, Papa, what's going on, man? Good to see you. What do I think NVDA will do? I don't know. I haven't checked the chart in a long time. But I think at this point in time, anything that is going to be in AI or things that are like contributing to AI is worth taking a look at. I'll give you kind of my 2 cents on long-term investing as well. Like whenever I'm looking at something long-term horizon, what we're anticipating for, one thing is, you know how we always talk about trading the trend when we talk about day trading? Well, long-term trading is quite similar. When we talk about trading the trend, we're not talking about the technical chart. We're talking about trading the trend as in where is society, where is the world moving towards, right? And then so that's the first thing. On top of the fact of where's the world moving to, you also have to take a look at what types of things source that specific sector that's also trending, right? So an example in today's modern era today is obviously AI has been a hot topic for a couple of years now, I'd like to say. But when you think about what drives that, well, AI is driven by obviously a lot of resources when it comes to chips, power, resource, like energy, those type of things, right? That's a big factor. So then you start thinking about, okay, you can invest in tech, chip companies, but what about the things that actually ensure that those chip companies can do what they need to do, right? So those are just some things that I personally look at when I'm doing long-term investing. I mean, outside of the ones that I've just kind of let and sit for the long term that I plan on not touching ever until like I retire, that would be some things that, you know, you can kind of take a look at and how that can help you as well. That'd be my kind of 2 cents on that. Caught the gold short longs, didn't look, caught gold short longs, didn't look convincing. I went in with shorts. Good stuff. If you caught that short off that channel, this is an example, by the way, where we kind of double topped at my channel there. And I had mentioned that that's kind of where I would want the break and retest anyways. That was a nice short opportunity that would have offered the exact same R multiple that we had in our long gold trade earlier, but in a short trade setup instead. So nice gold short there. Don't you take trades every day though, Alan? No, I don't actually. Believe it or not, I do. So like a lot of the times actually now, I would say for the past few months, most of my trading actually takes place because of one-on-ones that I have with students. If you're taking trades on my own, I've taken it easy. I'll show my P&L a little bit later on. I haven't actually done a whole video on my May recap yet, but as a month of May has been one of my weakest months I've had, honestly, since the beginning of futures trading. When I say weakest, I don't mean that it's been a bad month. I just mean like I haven't executed as much. I haven't captured as much. And it's just because of my shift in priorities. I haven't really talked about it much, but I'm making a lot of big life changes in my life. And I'll share more of it when it's more finalized. But the big goal for me right now is positioning myself for the next 10 years of my life. What does that mean for me? That's things like making sure that financially things are protected in case something happens to me, God forbid. Or, you know, just spending more time with my family, traveling the world, seeing the world, like all those kind of things. Those are kind of my priorities right now, where I want to spend the next little while. I've been grinding for 20 plus years. And although I can keep grinding forever, I'm grateful. I'm still ambitious, but I'm grateful for what I have. And I think it's time for me to be able to kind of take some of that time back, which is why I'm just doing less on that end. And so a lot of my trades actually now are just really with students and what have you, hence why they're less. But I will go through my my trader stats later on though, MobX. And Rye Guy, I'm glad you agree with me, my friend. Gregor, I'm new to the stream, wondering about what kind of concept are you trading? Gregor, welcome to Project 365, man. My name's Alan, by the way. If I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Rake Trades Mastermind, but it's the foundation to my trading. So if you already are aware of what that is, then I won't divulge too much into that one. But I've made some refinements for myself just based on because of the fact that I trade Asia more than I trade New York, generally speaking. So I'm more comfortable with taking smaller R multiples during the Asia session, but still be open to taking those larger, bigger moves, right? For me, Gregor, my strategy, my style, I'm more focused on price action, levels, market structure, bar by bar analysis. I'm a huge on that, and multi-time frame analysis as well. I also do leverage top-down analysis, but MTFA more so for the daily execution aspect of things. Do you think XRP is a good investment long-term things, bud? XRP, is that crypto? And sorry if I sound silly for asking that question. Is XRP crypto? Because if it is, I don't really even know. I don't trade crypto, so I wouldn't have much of an opinion on that one, my friend. Hassan, good to see you, man. Thanks, man. It's been busy. I just sold the S5 today, actually. So that's one card down, and I'll be returning my family van actually back to Honda soon because I won't need that car anymore as well. I'm actually in the process of also trading in my current Tesla for standard stick shift car soon as well. So been making a lot of huge changes as of recent, kind of just building up to the bigger change for my life coming up here. How do you decide what is A plus versus A or B? What process goes into defining those terms for you? So Carter, I think that because this is your first time, you probably don't know, I'm a big fanatic when it comes to journaling and backtesting trades. Over my futures trading career, not even options, not small caps, just my futures trading career, I have backtested over 4,000 trades in the span of just under 2 years here. And so for me, I've developed a playbook on how I take trades in the market, and that playbook will tell me whether it's A plus, A, or B, or whatever that may be. Hopefully that answers your question, my friend. Give me a second here. If you guys want to reach out to me, I see the message there. You can reach out to me on Instagram, my friend. Just DM me there. It only stopped there because that was a tick away from my TP. Phenoms. Did I miss a message from you earlier? What was your trade, Phenoms? Sorry, I'm not sure if I missed the message by accident there, man. Katurka, since my 50K fund account is fresh, should I be trading MNQ micros rather than trading 2 MNQ minis? I mean, how have you been trading this entire time? Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, if you think about it with a 50K account, you have a 2K drawdown. My rule of thumb has always been that you should have 10 bullets in the chamber, which basically means that you can risk $200 per trade, which means if you fail it 10 times, then you blow your account. So whatever that means to you, you can decide how that works for you. Robert, I'm 34 years old, my friend. 34 years old. Big boy, yes I am. Yes I am. You kind of connected the dots based on what I was saying. You can't take a break. Break a dream from dishwasher to CEO. Yeah, I know. You know what's crazy, man? I mean, I don't want to spend the whole stream talking about my life and like what's mentally going through my mind and why I'm making these big changes, but it's a big deal. These changes that I'm making are big, but you can't grind forever. You know, everyone's always shooting for more. I want to make my first million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. When is it enough? And what are you doing it for? You know, my mentor who's retired, he's worth over $20 million, and he's retired. And honestly, talking to him, I've basically learned to be a little bit more aloof with my money these days, in a sense of where I'm more comfortable spending than I am than before, because the reality is that once you get to a certain number, as long as you're not a person that's so extravagant about like, oh, I gotta have every supercar in the world or whatever it may be. I mean, if you're like that, then yeah, you're gonna need to keep hustling, man. But for me, man, you know what the living the dream really is? Being able to be there for my kids, dropping them off at school, picking them up, attending all of their sports events, joining all their field trips, being able to just say no to work, no to trading, no to anything at any point if my family needs me, to drop it whenever I want, right? Travel the world, eat good food. That's it. I don't need tens of millions of dollars to do that. So for me, that's why I'm saying like my priorities are quite different. It's why I'm not doing some of the things that most successful traders are doing. And honestly, that's actually one of the biggest reasons why I resonated with Jake. Because like when I saw him, I'm like, man, this guy doesn't care about cars. He doesn't care about anything. He just likes to smoke a joint and enjoy good food and enjoy good company. And these days, enjoy a good Guinness. So like for me, that's where my priorities are. But that's kind of why my mindset is the way that it is today. What broker would you recommend for trading futures? Well, I trade with prop firms, so I naturally just trade with Trade of 8. I don't trade my self-funded on futures. If I trade self-funded, I usually go for options. So I don't have much of an offering for you on that one, Jimmy. Yeah, the S5 was fun, and that S5 was also tuned. It had the burbles and cracks in the exhaust. It was a fun car, man. It was a fun car. I know I got a Model Y. I've actually had every single Tesla that has ever been produced. The fastest Tesla I had was actually the Model S Plaid. I had that car maybe 2-3 years ago. That was a crazy car, man. Or they claim VPN or usually IP. Did I pay out? I don't use VPN. Wondering if anyone faces this issue. Handle, please. Hassan, yeah, I've never had that issue myself, man. I can't speak to that one. I mean, if you have proof, I don't think you could probably dispute that, man. Is there any way that we could copy trade different prop firms accounts, like 5 accounts from Apex? And yeah, absolutely. Mr. B5583. There are things like Trade Sinkers, Apex Copier, or whatever it may be. I don't copy trade myself. I'm probably the worst person to tell you that, but I know for a fact those things do exist. So you can absolutely leverage that. Robert, in terms of my playbook, I don't want to sound so guarded, but my playbook encompasses everything that I do in terms of mentorships, trading, and all of that. I've been thinking more and more about this because people have been asking me a lot, and obviously a full-on mentorship can be quite pricey. Some people just want my system, and I haven't done anything. I haven't put together anything. I don't actually have a course that I'm selling that fits that mold, but I'm getting those questions a lot, and I'm starting to think I might want to do something like, I don't know. But that playbook is something that is very specific to me. And I'll tell you right now, even if I were to share that playbook with you, it honestly won't solve as many problems as you think, because without understanding why the checkboxes are the way they are, it might be confusing to you. So Robert, I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean by that. Let's just say I had a checkbox that said, hey, you know what? I like to see a 9 EMA cross on the 5-minute time frame. I like to see a 15-minute candle do this. I like it when the hourly setup looks like this. I like the 2-minute candle doing this. If you saw the checkbox and you saw that, you would actually probably be more lost and more confused than it would actually help you, because you don't understand why those checkboxes in my playbook sync up in the way that they do, right? And so so that's also another reason why. That's why some people have asked me like, hey, can you just sell me your course or sell me your system, and then I'll be on my way. I don't want to pay for full mentorship because I don't think I need that. Problem is that I actually think I'd be doing you a disservice if I just said, here's my system. I think that in trading and just in general, I talk about this a lot with a lot of the people on stream. I think that in trading, learning how to, parallel comparison here, by the way, through a gym, just learning how to lift dumbbells and learning how to bench press doesn't mean you're suddenly going to be the best at the gym. A personal trainer is automatically going to get you farther than not having one. So I believe the nurturing of that system, the nurturing of the trading is far more important. Again, personal opinion. There's a reason why when I started teaching, I didn't immediately jump to selling a course. I decided to say, I'm going to coach. I'd rather coach, right? Again, nothing wrong with selling course. I'm not saying that there's anything issue with that. I just know from my experience that I know if people just take a course, it might not always solve the problem. Coaching is, I find, just more effective. I feel like I'm going on a tangent here, but sorry, that's just my more in detail reason as to answering your question there, Robert. Hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully you understand what I mean by that. Ninja Trader. I've never used Ninja Trader before. I don't know. You can copy trade. Is that the copy trading question? Yeah. I don't know how Ninja Trader works. Like, I think that Ninja Trader only works for the one prop. I don't think you could do multiple, but I could be wrong. People in the chat could totally chime in with this one. I'm not a copy trader, so not the best person to answer that. Got moved to Pro Plus with TPT. Hey, man, that's good. Less fees and more profit in your account and no intraday trailing, man. Juns, I've been trading for 5 years, coming on 6 years now. Thank you, big boy. I appreciate it, man. What do I think about the gold chart I'm on? I don't know when you hopped in there. I actually had called out the double bottom trade here. We had put in a nice potential higher low now as well. And it looks like the 1.5R trade. I don't know, man. I don't think that would have counted. I don't know if that would have counted. I don't know if you had a target if that would have taken profit. But the 1R off the double bottom has already hit. 1.5R maybe. It looks like we're trying to set up, but we are below the VWAP and the 200 EMA. This is what I made this comment earlier, Amon. You probably missed it when I made this comment. But if I was longing right now, I'd be very careful about my risk to reward here. Just because of where we're at in the chart already. That's why I drew this arrow out. Like, I'd like to see a break and retest maybe, if we can get follow through on that, and maybe from there we can continue the longs on that, my friend. Our dad retired 48. Something to be said for how you value your time and where your priorities really are. Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%. Like, it's to each their own. I don't think there's one silver bullet way to live life, but everything that I'm doing now, it is to have a better life with my family. I wanna be there for them. That's just I can't even go beyond that, man. Like, that's just if you know me, you know me. I'm making money is not the biggest thing. It used to be the biggest thing in my life. It used to be the thing that drove why I did what I did. But yeah, once you have a skill set, whether that's training, entrepreneurship, maybe you're just really good at your gig in your corporate world. Either way, man, like you figure out what works for you. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that. Why are you getting rid of your Tesla? I don't need it anymore. So I used to drive a lot. That's why. I used to drive 40,000 kilometers a year. That's why I had it. Also, in Canada, when you have an EV, you can actually ride the HOV lane without having a second person in your car. And for those who don't know what that is, that's a high occupancy lane, which basically means a carpool lane is essentially what that is, right? And so I don't need that anymore. So I just, for that reason, and honestly, I'm trying to go down a path right now where I can focus more on life and experience more than anything. So when I used to have the Tesla, I'd go full self-drive. I could see the charts on my screen and trade on my Tesla. I could check my emails. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. When I'm driving, I want that to almost be like kind of my me time. while still making sure that I can obviously carry my family, my kids, which is why I'm going stick shift. If I drive stick shift and standard, I'm not going to be on my phone. I'm not going to be trading. I don't have a big ass screen to trade off of in my standard vehicle, right? So that's kind of a big part of me positioning myself. So when I say I'm positioning myself for the future, there are so many elements to what that means, and that's just one of the little things I'm referring to that. In this trade you have posted on the chart, my entry was 513, looking for 614. I am assuming you are talking about NQ Stangam trading. 513, 614. Hey, we're almost there, man. Yeah, see that bounce on that spot that I mentioned earlier? How much are we now? This would have been a good take profit, to be honest. Just the risk of the double top. That would have been a 3R trade right there. 3.6R trade. Actually, I should have noted that down earlier as well. What the NQ short trade was 1.5R. The gold trade was 1R, even though it hit 2R. 1.5R now. Third trade. NQ 355775. Target. Safe bet for the target would have been here. 3579. Or larger target, which would have been the double top here at 590.75. Oops. Anyways, there's that. Just going through the chat here again. Robert, I mentor people. Yeah, so basically it's either you could book time with me one-on-one. So like that's not the full program. Like that's probably the most affordable option. Whereas like if you want to just book some time with me, maybe to create playbooks, to hash out, refine a system, to learn parts of my system, whatever me, that's that. If you want like the full spec of everything with me, that's completely different. That's like full program. That's everything. But you can reach out to me on Instagram. I can explain all the details there. I really don't want to sound like I'm selling my mentorship here. That's the reason why I don't want to divulge into too much. Just DM me on Instagram. I don't want to come off salesy. So just do that. Right now I'm ready to trade 3 M&Q with 3 targets. Each contract has a 25-point stop loss, 24-point take profit for 3 targets. In your opinion, do you think that's a good risk management? Yeah, I think from a dollar perspective, that fits exactly the mold that I'm talking about. Because 3 M&Qs with 30 points, I know is $180. Because I did for those who don't know, I did that on my YouTube. I have an M&Q series on my YouTube that I actually literally just traded on Top Step with 3 M&Qs, risking $180 per trade, every single trade. And I did a whole thing on that. I'll just post my YouTube there. I don't really post there much anymore, but it's just something that will kind of speak to that thought process. But if you're talking about, does that fit the mold, guitar guy, from risk? Yes, it does. But just remember, trade the chart, right? What does the chart say? If the chart requires 25 points, great. If it requires more, do you want to take the trade? I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. Yes, that's right, Andrew. Thank you. Andrew Kim, thanks for making that comment. I've heard of that. Replicanto. I've heard that before as well. I've never used it, but I've heard about it. Hey, Ben Lam. I actually did a full chart review on NQ already, my friend. If you want to rewind that, I don't want to, for the sake of everyone that's in the chat here already, I don't want to go over it all over again. But I'm long story short, I'm bullish for bigger moves. Short trades, I'm definitely looking for 1.5R at best. That'd be my 2 cents on that. Zay, hey, what's going on, Zay? What do you think of YM shorts right now? Looks like the weakest of NQ, ES, RTY. What is that? YM? I don't usually trade YM, so where is YM? Do I have that here? I do. I don't know when you messaged that comment. I don't feel comfortable shorting YM, to be honest. We might have that resistance right here, but I don't know if we're going to hold that, man. Oh, wow. Right when I clicked it too. Yeah, this is going to be the resistance spot on the YM, but I'd like for us to get beneath VWAP. Like, this is obviously quite a support beam to us right now. So I'd just be cognizant of that. But I can't speak to YM too much. I don't really trade it that much. But that'd be my 2 cents, man. Yeah, 100% DeMarcus. You get what I mean, man. It sounds so generic. You know what I think it is like social media has so much short form content that just does a lot of one-liners, and I think that people generalize what those one-liners mean. But I'm a very in-depth, articulate person. This is also the reason why, although I will leverage AI to make life more efficient, I will never use AI to write an email, and I will never use AI for my personal interactions with people, because a big part of it for me is that, like, I think that I don't know if my genuine approach to the things I do would ever come across as genuine as they do if I used AI to do it. So that's kind of a big part of that. So I have 2 funded, 50 TPTs. Once I clear this intraday 2K, then it stops, and I can make the buffer as much as I want it to be correct. Meaning, if I have 54, my buffer is 4K if I choose to not withdraw. Josh M, that is correct. That is exactly what it is. So you can keep building the buffer to whatever you want it to be. If you ever make 10K in one day with TPT, you automatically get moved to Pro Plus, just an FYI in case you didn't know that. And again, to each their own for trading. When I have TPT, I will generally withdraw my payouts daily. Usually, most of the time, that's kind of the way I go about it, just because I don't know if those accounts will survive forever, right? So this is just my 2 cents on that. Green line is not a level. It's just a point of interest for me right now in the intraday markets. $800 on NQ longs. Nice job, Royston. Way to go, man. Hey, Night Owl. Oh, you're just getting off work. That's pretty early for you. You usually work late nights. It's not. It's just a point of interest, that green line. Slovakia. What's going on? What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, Project 365, my friend. Andrew, I just read your message. That's too hilarious. Are you? Someone's telling me they're a little bit of a full port guy. Are we? Is that what I'm hearing here? That's too funny, bro. That's too funny. Okay, well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that because the first time I made 10K in one day, they moved me live immediately. So. I mean, I can't blame you, Andrew. Sometimes, you feeling the itch and you're like, oh man, if I full port this right now, I can walk away with a daily payout of like 2K, 3K. I don't blame you, bro. I really don't. I'm telling you from experience. Like, that's the reason why I think I resonate with a lot of traders, is because every toxic habit you have, guys, every toxic habit you have, I've done it. I've done them all. So it's actually where I've developed the system and things that I have today. Gold is still doing the same thing. We just ranging back and forth here. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. NQ right now looking like we're trying to set up another higher low here to hopefully break this double top. If it fails, we might pull back to this green line again. Just so you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know if everyone knows what I'm referring to. Green line is just a point of interest. It's funny, as you asked that chat, I'm literally typing into the screen there. It's just a point of interest, my friend. I see that we've got more guys here hopping in here. Welcome to Project 365, guys. If it's your first time, my name's Alan. Azheng Trades here. I'm the pre-London host for Project 365. There's about 5 of us that trade all throughout the day, 10 hours a day. If you don't know about it already, Mr. Ron G was just streaming before me during the Asia session. And we got Jake Ricci tomorrow morning, and we got Mitch and Lamelli during the Power Hour period. So, yeah, we're here all the time. So if you haven't already, drop a subscribe, because I think that we have something for everyone. I think the hosts on Project 365 are all quite diverse. We all have our specialties, and I think depending on who you resonate with most, there's something to take away from it. So I don't like how we're failing this. We're not following through with this double top. Or sorry, we're not following through with this higher low. It looks like we're trying to like fail and triple top here. I know you guys are probably looking at the chart, wanting to see what's on the 15-minute time frame. Don't worry about that chart. That chart is literally there for me, in case you guys are wondering why I'm covering it with my my video. Robert, my favorite session to trade is the Asia session. Actually, I through my 4,000 trades of backtesting, I performed the best. Actually, usually an hour after Globex opens, up until about 7 p.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time. That's where I performed the best. My best performance happens during those periods. How does the Tradeify challenge go? I have no idea. I can't trade in it. I'm not allowed to. So if I was, I totally would have popped in for fun. Yeah, 100%. Farhad, because so it's kind of crazy because I don't feel like I'm really old in the market, but it's kind of crazy. If a lot of you guys who are learning trading futures for the first time, you guys might not realize it, but like I traded with Fund of Futures family literally like within a couple months of them starting up. I traded with Tradeify within a few months of them starting up. So like I've been with these prop firms since like the beginning, almost. So when I say that I can't, first and foremost, the first thing I'll mention is that I am maxed out in terms of prop firm payouts with my Fund of Futures, Tradeify, Fund of Futures family, Apex, and I always feel like I'm missing one, and Lucid, right? And what does that mean? Every single prop firm has either a max payout based on the dollars paid out to you or the amount of payouts that you request, depending on the rules and how it works. So I've already exceeded that amount with all those prop firms. And part of when I got maxed out with Tradeify, and this was like the old rules of things, right? Like because I couldn't move live, because where I am in Vancouver, I can't trade live actually, because they don't have the system. It's a long story. Like, but basically they can't. They don't have the ability to do so for us. If you're in Toronto in Canada, then you can, but any other province you can't. And so part of it is that my account is locked, so I can't trade. So even if it's just a competition, because I actually registered for the competition, they actually accepted it. But then when I tried logging into it, it said that I have to call the customer helpline because my account's locked. So I just can't trade the competition. Again, that's pretty much how it works. I don't know, but it's okay though. It's not a big deal. It looks like a lot of fun though. The last competition I ever traded was for the My Fund of Futures competition, which was from like a year or two ago. That one I surprisingly did pretty well. Like actually, like I think I ranked number 11 out of 4,000 traders. And believe it or not, it wasn't even because I was like hitting crazy profits. To be honest, I just wasn't degenning. That's literally pretty much how I made it there. But yeah, that's that. Do you target New York highs and lows when trading Asia session? Depends on the structure, Robert. If the structure of the chart sets up for that, then I'm open to doing that. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't. That's why I say it depends. Depends on what the market looks like. Big boy trading. I know in the early stages, I think there were quite a bit of issues in the early stages for sure. If you were in the early stages like me, then I know exactly what you're talking about. It happened to me too. My first payout actually got denied because I had broke the scaling rule, and at the time scaling wasn't yet automated. So yeah, I remember that was rough. That happened to me too. But honestly though, Fund of Futures families have come a long way. They have some really cheap accounts. Like we actually, when I say we, the Rake Trades Network, we actually have an exclusive with them actually, where we do 50% off with code Rake with FFF. Sorry, I like had a brain fart there. With Fund of Futures family, we can actually do 50% off with them. So if you use the code Rake, 50% off all their accounts, and some of them even more than that, depending on what you're going through. I think their velocity plans are like the cheapest, but that's also because they're intraday trailing. So either way, though, I think they've come a long way. It's kind of like, it's crazy to see because for me, I've watched Tradeify and I've watched Fund of Futures family evolve to the prop firms they are today from where they were. So I know that people will always have a bone to pick with different props. All I can say is if they're still around and they're still paying people, and they're still evolving, then I think as a business, they're doing everything they can to put their best foot forward, right? It's kind of how my take is on that. Why do they cut you off if you're making them money? Because when we're prop firm trading, make it 3 yards, unless I'm live trading, they don't make money off of me, right? They only make money. They only make money off of me if I'm live trading, and I'm not live trading, so that's why it's not beneficial to them. Vanna, Rate Trades was actually the person that helped me become the serious trader that I am today. Like I was kind of just like throwing crap at the wall before I met Jake. When I met Jake, it's when I started taking trading seriously. And so him and I actually go way back. If those from the Rate Trades Network will remember me from before, I used to be the Tesla options trader, and that was like literally like what I was known for at the time. But yeah, man, Jake and I go way back, and that's kind of the reason why. Like when he approached me about Project 365, I was super stoked and ecstatic to do this. This is actually the first time I've ever streamed in my entire life, so it was also a learning experience for me. I think I'm getting more comfortable at now, and I think you guys, I appreciate the feedback and the support you guys have given me from the very beginning. Some of you guys have been here since the very, very first stream, and I remember who you guys are, so much love to you guys, man. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, that's the reason why. I have my own YouTube, but I just don't stream off of it. What do you say is your average total points on a trade? Ooh, average... Depends on the given time, to be honest. I think this year might be... This year, my average points is probably less, I think. I would imagine probably less. I don't know. I actually don't have the exact number for you right now. I would say before, my answer to you probably would have been between 30 to 40 points. Probably would have been my average. Hi, Alan. Which prop firms are legit and which ones without monthly subscription and unlimited time to achieve the target? Jason Woods, Lucid, my man. Lucid is the one that doesn't have any reset fees and any of that. Sorry. I really can't talk today, man. I'm clearly very tired. Not reset fee, sorry. There's no subscription fee. There is reset fee, okay? Lucid does not have a resubscription fee. So when you buy their accounts, they're actually one-time fee, and that's it. They also have, if you got the Flex plan, there's no activation fee on them either. The Lucid Flex plans are the best. Easy on the rules, no activation fee. Ton Kanata, I didn't even know that even it was a thing. Day Trade TV, I've never watched it before. So I have no opinion on it, my friend. Yeah, it was that they really said they denied me 2 PS for breaking a rule, but they never told me exactly what trader. Oh, really, big boy? Oh, well, that's a really unfortunate, man. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, I know it was really tough. It was actually a pretty it was pretty funny because like this was actually one of those like feel good moments for me. I've talked about it on stream before, but when I actually basically milked FFF for like $60,000 in payouts back in the early days when they started, Jake actually had reached out because that's when Jay Dunn was the CEO of the company. He actually reached out to him and said, hey, just letting you know, that's my boy milking you guys right now. And that was a very cool moment for me, for the person who kind of like started me on the path of trading in the series form that it is today, to kind of like make those kind of comments. It was kind of like a feel good affirmation moment for me, but it was pretty cool. And it looks like, by the way, that the top area is failing. So we're not following through. So we might come back to that green line that I talked about earlier. Right here. Which I don't even think you really need that much from an R multiple perspective, but 3R would have been like right here. Trader Stats does not have backtesting mode, no. I just use the bar replay. Trader Stats is mainly for me just journaling trades, uploading trades, carrying the stats, the payouts, that stuff. That's what I use it for. But it does exactly what I need to. So for the price I'm paying, it works well for me. MG Malachi, what up? What up? Do you think NQ will bounce back to 30,000? I mean, inevitably at some point it probably will, but is it going to happen anytime soon? I don't know, man. Right now, it's not wise to short the NQ. Shorting NQ should come with very low expectations, to be honest. That'd be my 2 cents on it. Like, if I was shorting the NQ right now, one R would be the best that I would go for. I don't know if that's going to fill or not, but like that would be an example of a trade that I would take. And it might not fill, and it's okay, but You cooked on the open, eh? Nice work. Yeah, I should have went with Lucid Flex instead of Legends trading after passing my 50k value. I had to pay a $99 activation fee. I don't even know what Legend trading is. Interesting. Yeah, Lucid Flex is the way to go, guys. Code rake, man. You get like 50% off. Oh, no, sorry. It's a new month now, so I don't think they have that anymore. I think it's 40% off right now. And then 30% off if you've used them before already. I think followed below 536, we can dump heavy. 536, what's 536? I don't know if I would dump heavy, but yeah, I think there could be definitely some momentum move we do. So I don't ever subscribe to the idea. So MG Malachi asked a good question. Don't I think this uptrend is overextended? I don't really subscribe to the thought process of overextended too much. Like, of course, I think it's hard to define what overextended means on any given market. I kind of just let the candles tell me what's going on, right? But that's why I said I'm a price action trader. If strength is still pushing, the strength is still pushing, right? We'll get our pullbacks, but I mean, that's where the higher lows kind of come into play for you, right? So I don't know. I'm currently using Tradeify Select 150k with daily payouts. Nice, FOMO trade futures. Hopefully you've been able to capitalize on some of that. Do I ever invest in startups? You know what? Big boy trading, that's one of the things I want to do in the future. I want to be kind of like a venture capitalist in that way, where I will kind of fund small business owners. Today, I help small business owners build their business, grow their business, scale their business, even turn them into franchises for that matter. Like, that's what I do. But I don't have the capital, because for me, I'm prioritizing my family first, as I keep saying over and over again. I sound like a broken tape recorder, but I'm prioritizing the well-being of my family first. If I get to a stage where family's all set up, we're all good, and I've got excess cash, then I would be open into investing other things like that. That's definitely something I want to do in the future. Tenkanada, was that question for me? Was that for the question in the chat? The overextended one. How many times can you use RT code for full discount? Adam, it really depends on what prop you're talking about. Technically speaking, if it's like the 30%, 40% discount, whatever it is, you can use it forever, for as long as the program exists, basically. Sometimes they'll run promos, and if the promos are like, you know, you can use it for the first 2 accounts or whatever it may be, then you can take advantage of it, but then it defaults back to like the more OG price point. Nice, FOMO futures. Well done. Hey, Ali. Thanks for hopping on to say hi, brother. Yeah, Tankanada. It's true, man. It's true. It's not a good mindset to tell yourself that. I mean, I don't know how many people have tried shorting the trend and have been burnt by it. I've watched the stream so I can familiarize with Tradeovate, the DOM and such. I've been trading options for years now, just getting used to the user interface. Yeah, it's different for sure. But I'll tell you right now, futures is definitely much more manageable than options. Options can really wreck you mentally, man. Yeah, it's kind of crazy though. Kind of crazy. I'm actually gonna, just because like price is pretty slow right now, I'm actually gonna show you guys what I mean by the trader stats. So this is my month of May, guys. For anyone who has like been following me long, you will know that this is actually a low month for me. Okay, so win rate and stuff like that, profit factor, average time per trade, you see the data that's there already. But when you look into the calendar itself, you can see here already, I didn't have a lot, man. This was a pretty slow month for me, actually. And when you look at my other months, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, I'll sift through as many months as you want me to. Like, this is by far the slowest month. You can tell this was the second slowest month. This was actually, in August, this was the month that I actually got my Apex payout when I capped out and I got my max uncapped payout. It was like a $80,000 payout. That's the reason why I didn't trade much this month, because I'm like, after I got the $80,000 payout, I didn't want to keep trading. I want to be like, you know what, I'm gonna take a week off, 2 weeks off, whatever it may be, and I took it easy. So that was the last time. But yeah, man, I've been for me, this is the month that I have currently is a low month, man. It's a low month. And I'll just show you, just for those who are newer, who are hopping on here, this is just an example of like the way Trader Stats works in terms of like the logs and what have you. Like you can see here, this is an example of like a trade that I took. I had shorted, what is this, gold? Sorry, let me just zoom out here a little bit better. This was like a short trade that I took on gold. And then you can see here in the journal notes as well, and the trade, the details, screenshots, all that type of stuff. That's just an example though. Anyways. But yeah, that's Trader Stats. How do you manage trading Asia being on the West Coast? I'm also on the West Coast and been trading New York, thinking about switching to Asia due to conflict in my day job. Thanks in advance. So SK Yois. SK Yois? So to answer your question, I actually, for the same reason, my mornings every day is for my kids, it's for my business, it's for all of that. So I actually don't have the time to trade New York the way that I used to anymore. And I don't want to. Before, I used to be giving up time with my kids, giving up time with my business, and failing in that regard because I was trading the New York session so much. So now, unless a student actually says, Alan, I want to do a one-on-one with you over New York, I don't trade New York anymore. Asia works well, and that's actually what started me trading futures. For those who don't know, I started trading futures because I got tired of trading New York, and I was told that you could trade all these different time frames. I was like, oh, that's amazing. So Asia for me works because like I can start trading pretty much the moment I pick up my kid from school and I bring him home. I can put in some trades. Just like if you were to talk about the day in the life of me, after I pick up my kid from school and I bring him home, I hop in front of my command center here, which is what I call it because I have a lot of screens here, and I set up the charts, go through all of it, do my pre-market plan, and then once I have all my alerts set, I just sit at my desk and I do work. I catch up on emails, I catch up on project work that I'm working on, take phone calls, virtual calls, those type of things, and then I just trade when opportunities present themselves. And by the time it hits like dinner time and nothing presents itself, then I kind of shut it down, and I have my alerts set so I can still hop back in if I need to, but then I go have dinner with the family and what have you. So in terms of it depends on what works for you. You might not want to trade that period. You might say, hey, you know what, this period that we're streaming right now might be your more preferred period. And that's also the reason why, because some people ask me, Alan, why do you stream this session if you don't trade this session the most? Because in order for me to sit in front of a screen, talk to you guys, have these conversations, I need to be here now and focused on the screen. And I can't do that any part of the day other than now. Because right now, my kids are asleep, my wife's asleep, it's just me. So it's the only time I can stream. If I don't stream this time, I basically can't stream. So yeah, anyways, hopefully that kind of answers your question, SK. How does gold short look above 455? Hold on, above 445. Above 455. I don't know why you would short above 455. It looks like this rejection here was clean. So we talked about that channel earlier, right? So the long trade we caught earlier was here, off that double bottom. Now that short trade off the range, depending which one you want to use as your stop loss, we'll just use that. It's offered 14 points, 15 points. That's crazy. Yeah, 3R would have been right there. 3R would have been good. If I was shorting that, I wouldn't have taken more than that just because we have a level here, and that would have been a very comfortable spot to take. Even 2R would have been really nice. 2R would have been up here. But you can see this buying pressure that's coming in already right now. Sorry, totally wow. Holy crap, where'd the chat go? Would you not say silver at the end of January was overextended? I haven't even looked at that. Daniel, that silver question for me, man, just before I flipped over the silver screen. 3.5 R factor. How many trades do you take on average per day? Oh man, I don't know anymore. I think that number has changed quite a bit. Adam, my data is quite skewed now because when I was learning, when I was practicing futures trading, I took a lot of trades. When I was trying to develop my mentorship, my trading system and my mentorship, I was taking a lot of trades. And then once I started fine tuning things, I started simmering down. So like depending on the period of time, that number would have been so skewed. So I can't really say that too much. I'd probably say like average per day. I don't know, 3 trades now, 4 trades. That's probably the average, I'd say. Deity, what up? Let me know when you start doing dating mentorships too. I'll be your first customer. Hey man, you got a girl. Hopefully you'll never need a dating mentorship, my friend. Okay? Hopefully that girl you dated on Friday is gonna be the next best thing in your life. Okay, glad that was helpful, SK. Just short of gold locked in 114 on my day 2 with 45.85. Night Owl, my man. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. I love it. Gold massive drop towards my buy zone, please. Thanks. Magnet trades. Did you capture that short on that gold trade? I don't know when you made that comment in the chat. Good morning. We appreciate your time, brother. I'm on the road at this time. I've live on the East Coast, so this is a perfect frame tap on the dash stream on my phone. Let's go. Oscar. Appreciate it, my brother. I don't want to assume, but based on your last name, I'm going to say gracias. Daniel, that was for me. Okay, I'll switch over the silver chart. Actually, no, I'm going to look at the silver chart over here. Silver. You were saying back in January. See, the thing is, to your comment about overextended, Daniel, is that even when I look at the chart on silver right now, we had that big pullback at the start of the last week of January, and then we kept pushing up. This is where overextended is very hard to say, because you can see here, like every given day, you would have gotten wrecked. Like gold was just moving. The way I look at it is that I often like when I talk about extended, why I get worried about that is because like overextended can be so subjective. Now, I don't have an edge in reading what is considered overextended, so maybe someone who has an edge in this might contradict my comments, and that's okay. But personally for me, when I think about it, if the chart is still trending up, if we're setting higher lows, if higher time frames are looking good, why would I counter trend it? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, right? I'm not going to trade it on the assumption that we are overextended. So often I'd like to see if we could get a break of structure at the very least before I even think about taking that that reversal on that given trade. Cop MGC longs, Royston. Longs. Did you catch that long trade off the level there at 45.37, my man? Why did you enter Nasdaq sales? We were failing. We were failing this area. We had a double top. Looked like we we're about to triple top, right? We're still, again, trending up, which is why I'm keeping my expectations very low. I'm not shooting for a great deal of a move right now. I'm just shooting for 1R, 17 points, and I'm very content with walking away with that. There you go. PT hit, guys. That's on 17 points, 2 contracts. What is that? Why am I drawing such a blank right now? Oh, that's like 640 bucks right there, guys. 640 bucks to the downside. And I'm content with it. What happened to the guy last week who grew up into my big boy, man? I don't know if it's you who keeps asking that question or if it's someone else. I feel like these past couple of days, someone has brought that question up every time. If he's still on the stream right now, I really do hope you're doing okay, man. Any indices you look at that are inverse of NQ and ES that help you with trading? I actually don't look for that kind of confluence, JTP. I know a lot of people do, but I don't look for that kind of confluence ever. Not in my trading. Armani, doing good, my man. Good and doing good. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Do I enjoy traveling? You know what? It's kind of crazy. That is something that I owe to my wife. I didn't actually like traveling before. Actually, one of the ultimatum questions that I asked her early on in a relationship was actually, if I don't ever travel, would you be okay with that? And it's because I never thought I would ever want to travel. And now, honestly, some of my best memories are being built traveling with my family, which is the reason why I made such a big decision to move in the near future and to position myself so I can do that as well. I want to spend more time with family. I want to travel more. I want to see the world. I'd rather 5-10 years from now be able to look back and say, man, I have global memories created with my family, loved ones, and my close ones in my life, than having a supercar collection in my house. So again, my preference, not everyone's, right? Some people might dig the more materialistic thing, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just not my cup of tea. What are my confluences? I look at bar by bar, multi-time frame analysis. I like to use some indicators for extra conviction if it provides it as well, but those are a few things. No problem, Daniel. Good morning, Chilean trader. Yeah, my average trade, Chilean, is indifferent. Because as I've always mentioned before, I do 2 trades per account, and I just rotate my accounts. So sometimes I have 10 funded. I mean, sorry, not 10 funded. I have 5 fundeds right now, right? And so for me, I might not be able to trade all of them, and that's okay. So. I honestly think we are about to have a 300-point formidable drop, but it will take at least 10 till end of New York, not Tuesday. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing you can count on, though, Tunkanada, to his point, right? We're going to have pullbacks, inevitably. It's just that, and when we do have those pullbacks, they're going to feel great, right? And they're going to be huge. So, just timing in place. But for now, from a game of probability, I'm not looking for big moves to the downside. Maine is amazing. Where are you moving to? I haven't publicly actually talked about where I'm moving to. I'm still going to be in Canada. I'm just moving to another province. Soon. I told that guy that has a girlfriend heading to Miami that he should not want to eat another man's dressing. Oh, man, Daniel. You have me dying here, man. What do I think about VWAP deviation bands? SK, I don't know what VWAP deviation bands are, so I don't have an input on that, actually, my friend. SidCop, I've talked about this a few times, that you must be new, so I'll kind of quickly. Multi-time frame, top-down analysis, bar by bar, market structure, levels, price action. That's essentially kind of what I look at when I trade. I don't use confluences with any other indexes or anything, VIX or anything like that. I just use indicators as additional convictions to my trade. I traveled for 5 years and worked remotely. Best years of my life. Yeah, man. 100%. I don't doubt that, my friend. I don't doubt that, Armani. Alan, if you didn't live in Vancouver, where would you prefer to live? Well, technically speaking, I'm already making that move now. I think that, like, living is different for me. Back when I used to look at living as, like, this is it. This is my home base. I'm going to spend my life here. And that was the most important thing. Vancouver is actually an amazing place to be. It's super expensive, unfortunately, so it's not viable for many people. But it's one of the most beautiful places to live in the world. And that's my perspective, right? But because I want to travel the world, I don't really care to live at high expenses. So I'll give you a perspective, right? Places like Toronto, Vancouver, New York City, San Francisco, I have no desire to live in them long term because of what I'm planning to do, right? If I'm going to travel the world, why would I live in a place that has high tax, high property tax, high cost of living, expensive real estate? Like, why would I want to do that? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But if you were looking for a place to just, like, clamp down on and do things, then yeah, man. I mean, I think Vancouver is probably one of the best places to live, man. Again, not everyone will maybe agree with me on that comment, but that would be my 2 cents on that one. Sidcop, if you can reach out to me on Instagram, my friend. I do. Whether it's just like one-on-ones once in a while, or you're looking for a full-on program, either way, you can reach out to me. We can chat about that. Wholeheartedly agree with you, AZ. That's why I want to trade as well, to make extra money, travel with family, fund some business, to make more time. Homage, yeah, man, right on. We share the same values in that one. Which session is your best win rate wise? Asia session. I talked about a little bit earlier. Nava, you may have just hopped in here, my friend. But I prefer basically 1 hour after Globex opens, all the way up until about 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is like where I execute the best by far, based on my stats. No, not Toronto. I'd be between Toronto and Vancouver. I'd pick Vancouver over Toronto any day. Any day. Weather's better. I don't know. Things are just better. Food's better. Personal opinion though. So don't. Hopefully that doesn't offend anyone who lives in Toronto. Sauls, are you in Alberta? Salzer 2379. Whereabouts in Alberta are you from, my friend? Oh, J babes. Yeah, that TP was a banger. There's a reason why I set my profit target there, man. Oh yeah, I probably should update that actually. Sorry. Was that my fourth trade now? Or that would have been the fourth trade technically? Not my fourth trade, sorry. That was the fourth trade. Fourth trade class. NQ, what was that? What did I short at again? 35.75. 35.75. Point, what is it? Point 50. Target 55875. 875. And that was a 1R trade with too many contracts. Nice. Gold's starting to pummel further. Sorry, going back to the chat here again. Nah, Toronto's not the play, my man. I feel there's a few Allens in the chat here, from what I can tell. Good to see you, man. Oh, interesting. Well, thanks for sharing that Tide Tree of Life there. About the deviation bands. Oh, are we at 200 likes? Okay, I'll do the giveaway just a bit here, guys. What Jake did is my ultimate goal. Plus, I'm from Puerto Rico, so I just be going back home. I pray he does appear. I mean, up in yeah, Oscar. I actually told Jake too. I mean, if he does something in Puerto Rico, depending on my timing, I totally would fly in for that. Oh, Souls, you're in Calgary. Well, you know what? I will. If you follow me on Instagram already, you'll know if I do decide to travel for a period of time where I can actually do meetups or like even live mentorships for people. I'll definitely share that so people are aware. I know one of the things internationally that I've already told people on stream is that I am going to Italy and France next year. So for any of the people who are in Italy and France, in Italy and France, I'm more than happy to set some time aside to connect with the gang. Whether it's just a casual, go grab drinks, go grab food, or maybe if they're looking for me to conduct like a live education session, I'd be down to do that as well. Jokers, I just literally got out of a short trade. I just pressed buy NQ at Globex and went to sleep. Well, then you're rolling it in stereo. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Perfect exit comment. Yes. I'm very stoic, man. People can't tell when I'm in trades. People can't tell if I have a good day or a bad day. Like back then, my wife was able to tell. Like if I had a bad day, he's like, "Oh, rough day on the markets." Yeah, I know. These days, she can't even tell if it's bad or good because I'm quite like susceptible to all this now. But I am gonna do the giveaway because I know the gang is waiting right now, and it's perfect timing because I'm gonna get ready to run this giveaway, and then I'm gonna actually go grab myself a drink and a bite here. So give me a second here. I'm just gonna I gotta set up the bot here before I can do the giveaway. All right, so give me a second here. I'm just gonna clear up some room here. Let's move that over here. Okay, that'll be for the next one, and then I gotta type this out as well. Give me a second, guys. Bear with me, guys. Okay, bear with me, guys. Participate in giveaway. Thumbs up on the stream and type in only need to do it once. Don't need to spam. All right, the bot is set up now. Go far away, my friend. It definitely tapped my TB in reverse, man. 100% did. All right. Oops. Oh, what am I doing here? What am I doing? BRB. Grabbing food while giveaway is happening. All right. I'll be right back, guys. For all the regular people who follow on the stream, this is a passion fruit cheesecake. That one over there is a black sesame chocolate cake, I think it was. Anyways, leftover cake. There was a birthday today, so just indulging in cake. You know it, sweet tooth. It's pretty good, man. Pretty banger. Yeah, Aloha Trader. Passion fruit is my brother-in-law's favorite flavor. Aloha, if you're ever in Vancouver, there's a cafe called Thierry, Thierry. They do the best passion fruit cakes. Hassan, I will, don't worry. Part of my big move is also actually positioning myself so that I actually can make more time for fitness as well. I know, it's true. Food is life, my friend. But I could totally live without the sugar, though. I agree. I find that once I cut out sugar in my diet, I don't crave it as much. For the person in the chat that literally just asked, well, how do you participate in the giveaway? I literally typed it out right here, guys. It's actually on the screen that I'm sharing. Okay, the giveaway is up now. All right, so we're gonna pick the winner here, my friend. Give me a second here. Let's see what the bot says. Who's gonna win here? Pick a winner. All right, the disciplined trader number 7. No point in spamming, guys. Guys can stop spamming. The giveaway is up now. The disciplined trader, are you here? I just need a proof of life here. For the person who asks, when do I stream? I stream every day, Sunday, Thursday, 10 a.m. Sorry, 10 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time. And then also for Eastern Time, that's 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. Nice, disciplined trader. Yes, you know the drill. Are we at 300? No way. We're at 298 right now, guys. We got about 13 minutes left until London opens, which is pretty much when my stream ends for the gang, guys. Whoever is catching this short on gold, congrats. This is why I've been a big old bear on gold. Gold just doesn't disappoint on shorts. Did you catch 2 walls were just only 1 moment? Fred FX, sorry, can you ask that question again? I didn't really understand the question. I will do the giveaway in just a second here. I just know that there's a question that I want to make sure he can ask before the chat spams the chat again here. Fred FX NQ, can you ask that question again? I just want to make sure I answer it before you can't ask the question anymore. That you catch 2 moves on Nasdaq or just 1? Ah, gotcha. For me, I only took 1 of the trades. I caught the short trade here, but I called out the long trade earlier as well beforehand. So those were the 2 NQ trades. And then the gold trade I mentioned earlier as well was over here. The long off the double bottom, and then the short failed at the channel up there. So if you're just hopping in on the stream here, Fred, I mentioned earlier I put more effort into talking with you guys more than anything. So I'll note trade opportunities, and I'll note things out, and I'll just leave it there. So even if I don't hop on the trade, it's kind of there for you guys, right? But I try my best to engage with the chat, which means I do skip out on a lot of trades. What would make you change your bear thesis on gold? We need to break structure, Neva. Larger time frames, man. Larger time frames. London always manipulates, dumps, the New York pumps. I always hear the terminologies of manipulation, distribution. I think that's like an ICT terminology. Yeah, I try to be very wary about using those type of terminologies. I'm not against it. I only say that because, like, I feel like some of the terminology sometimes kind of create a subconscious thought of predicting markets. And I don't like to predict where the market goes. I like to react to what the market's doing. So I'm always very careful with those words. But I hear what you mean, though, Mickey. I do understand it. Yeah, Fred, depending on situations, I may take multiple. But yes, I will do the giveaway now that I've answered your question, because I know chat is dying for it right now. Give me a second here. I just need to take care of something on the back end here first. I am not a momentum trader, no. I know how to momentum trade, but I'm not a momentum trader. All right, I'm going to set the bot up. We're going to do another giveaway here, guys. There you go. Bot's up. You guys can enter the trade for the next one. I think someone asked a question earlier. Can you give us an example of how you react with the last trade? The short trade? An example would be that I was looking for a double top here, and we did fulfill the double top, essentially. So I took the short trade based on that chart pattern setup. Hopefully that answers your question, brother. I think who's the one who asked that question again? As the chat continues to spam. Who asked that question? Yeah, Super Metroid. Super Metroid, that's who it was. Hopefully that answers your question. If it doesn't answer your question, you can ask the question again. Green line is just the point of interest. And by the way, I'm trying to capture the comments in the chat as fast as I can while you guys are spamming the chat at the same time. So if I miss your question, you might have to ask it again later. JT Lakers, I will do my best in the future to see if I can. It's really tough for me, honestly, just because of my time zone. If I stream up to 3 hours, it means I'm basically gonna sleep for only like 4 hours, which is not a lot. So it's a little bit tough, man. But I'm gonna do what I can in the near future here as I pivot my life around to see if I could stream for longer for the gang. Fred, yeah, man. At this point in time, man, I'm not gonna question where the chart can go, man. It can keep pumping, man. Just keep taking what the market gives you, man. And if the market actually shows a proper reversal, then you can act upon that. But until then, yeah. Not gonna try to predict things. Yeah, JT, I'll do my best, man. I'll do my best. I hear you. Especially for me tomorrow. Tomorrow's like Monday, so a lot of my client meeting works is gonna be like insane. So I need all the brain power I can get to do my work tomorrow. That's the reason why I definitely can't do overtime today for the stream. I think someone in the chat asked if I trade ICT. I don't. I do not. I have nothing against it. I just don't know ICT. I don't understand that system. Karthik, welcome, welcome. Market's gonna open in 6 minutes. We got 1.5 minutes left of this giveaway. Did you just change your username to Azheng Bodyguard? My goodness, that's too funny, bro. That is too freaking funny.
For I believe the one who truly understands and would know what to say to Obito is you, his friend, Kakashi.
I've mentioned the strategy a few times already. You're gonna have to go back, man. I've explained quite a bit, but again, bar by bar, man. Market structure, price action, market structure. I don't know if I said that already. I use indicators as extra conviction, multi-time frame analysis, top-down analysis. That's kind of my go-to. Will I still stream the same time? At first, yeah. Jake and I will continue to talk. We'll talk about what makes the most sense. Like I'll do my best to make time for the gang, man. I'll just tell you that. I'll do my best to make my time for you guys. Fred, I think to your question, I think it's because it's free. There's a lot of free information online about it. That's the reason why people go that path, I think. I think it's hilarious that you have a username called that, bro. Let's see if we can get a long opportunity down here on gold. All right, we have a winner here. Gabriel in the making. You are the winner. Gabriel in the making. Are you here? Gabriel in the making. Are you here, my friend? I need a proof of life here. Dasan, yeah, I am bearish on the gold higher time frames, but there's always going to be pullbacks. I'm just saying that if there's a possibility we can get a pullback in that area, which can give you about a 1 or 2 hour scalp. Gee, Michael. Sorry, man. Sorry, man. Not you. Yeah, 150k, Zay. That's my go-to. Thanks, Daily the Oracles. Yeah, Gabriel, man, are you there? I'm gonna have to rerun this giveaway if you're not here. You're gonna have until London opens. London opens in 2 minutes. London opens in 2 minutes. If you do not respond, I will have to give this to someone else. You guys don't need to type enter again. You guys are in. If you guys are in, you guys are in already. I just basically just I use the roulette to run it again. So my man's got 1 minute actually. He's got 1 minute left here. 1 minute until the market opens. I don't copy trade, my friend. I don't copy trade at all, actually. I don't base my risk on percent. I don't have one, to be honest. If you were to ask for a recommendation, I always say 10 bullets in the chamber, so I guess 10% if it's on prop firms. I'm trying to think about which. I don't know which of the Project 365 hosts copy trade, to be honest. Maybe Lamelli does? I'm not too sure, actually. Seven seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry, buddy. You do not get this giveaway. You missed it. I'll pick another winner here. I'm using the bot, by the way, so... Tuckulus. Tuckulus, are you here? Hopefully I'm not butchering your name here. Tuckulus. Proof of life. Are you here? Tuckulus, you're there, my man or girl, whoever you are. DM me on Instagram, please. DM me on Instagram, okay, Tuckulus? So overall, man, we are just kind of ranging. To be honest, at this point in time, I'm just gonna hold on. Just gonna delete this. I'll give you guys some of my final commentary here, guys. We talked about 4 trades today, one in which I took because I had the chance to take it. We talked about the long trade off that point of interest down here. We shorted basically the double top here on NQ, and then from gold, longing the double bottom. This was basically right when the stream started is when I called this trade out. And then we shorted because the channel here we were respecting. Double top, triple top, call it whatever you want. We respected the 200 EMA as well. This was a nice short trade to the downside. And again, I think generally speaking, when I'm looking at charts where I'm biased towards long or short, I'm open to 2 to 3 R trades. If it's something that is less probable, if you're opposing and countering the trend, then usually 1 to 1.5 R is kind of usually what I go for. But as of right now, like I said, I'm open to scalping longs off this 45.27 area here. But if we get the continuation breakdown, I can see us going lower still on the given chart in gold. And then on Q, man, like at this point in time, I'll just delete all this stuff just so it's kind of out of the way. Right now, just look at us. We're just consolidating. We've got a trend building here still, right? So until it breaks down, there's no reason for us to think that we don't have an opportunity for shorts here, right? Like at this point in time, I'm looking to see if we could break down. I think this point of interest is going to be a strong one. I mentioned earlier, so for those who are just kind of hopping on the stream right now, just kind of see it one last time. I do think this all-time high area, this old all-time high area, and this channel will likely be a bounce spot. If we manage to lose this, then I do think we can come all the way back to our opening. And that's a big if, right? I don't know if that's really going to happen. Continue to honestly play this long, man. I think this is where it's at. If you literally played the point of interest throughout the stream, you could have caught 2 longs already off of that. So just my 2 cents on that, man. Anyways, but with that, guys, thanks for the first tune of the week here. We're going on week number 8. Subscribe, drop a like. It means a lot. It helps me out as well as the pre-London session host. And share with your friends, guys. Bring them on. I mean, if they don't know anything about trading, I'm more than happy to talk charts and talk trading with the gang, man. I'm always here for that. So anyways, with that, I'll leave it at that, my friend. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night, a wonderful day if you're on the other side of the world. I will see you guys around.